Shooting film at a wedding is risky. You don't get do-overs, you don't get instant gratification, but when it hits, it hits. I've been shooting film for 3 years now. I've been shooting weddings on film for about a year now, a little over a year. And when people ask me how I do it, I just tell them, yo, it's just confidence, trust in your gear, and practice. That's really all it is. Or you can hire me. And that could be the end of this video right here. Just hire me, link in the description, all that. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. No, yes, hire me, but listen. The first thing is confidence. You have to be confident. You're a photographer, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So when you're shooting film, be confident, be intentional, and trust yourself. You know how to do this. You're just shooting on a different medium. Clients feel your energy. The couples feel your energy. You can have patience, but there's the difference between patience and kind of like being nervous. You can be nervous, but work through the nerves. Shooting film is not hard. I will emphasize this throughout the whole entire video. Shooting film is not hard. You know how to take pictures. You know how to pose. You know how to direct. You know how to do everything. You know how to expose correctly. You know how to do everything. You're just shooting on a different medium. That's it. That's really it. You can't hesitate on film. The moments pass way too fast. Unlike digital, where I can fire off 100 shots of that singular moment, film is a little different. I can fire off 100 shots, but it's going to cost me about $1,000 to do that. Shooting film during ceremony is a little bit easier because you know what's going to happen during the ceremony. They're going to walk down the aisle. They're going to say their vows, the ring exchange. They're going to kiss. They're going to walk back out the aisle. So you know those things are going to happen. During the ceremony, I think about these things. I think about where I'm going to position myself during the first kiss, where I'm going to position myself during the ring exchange, where am I going to position myself when they walk to and from the altar. And I kind of premeditate my shots because with digital, I can fire off so many more shots and I can move around. Whereas film, if I want to fire off 1,000,000 shots, I can, but I'm going to have to change my role during ceremony. And it's going to cost me more money at the end. And I don't like spending money because I don't have the money to spend. Like I was saying before, you can't hesitate with film. You have to be ready for the moment when it happens. When the moments do happen, I'm already ready for it. My fingers on the shutter, my eyes in the viewfinder, and I'm ready to go. Because I'm confident. Because I know what I'm doing. Because I'm a photographer. Just like you. Film punishes hesitation, but rewards intention. Be intentional. The more you practice, the better you get. And what I mean by practicing is just test out different film stocks. Go out into the world. Just like how you got into weddings in the first place. You were practicing. You're practicing on your friends. You're practicing on strangers. You're practicing on clients. You're practicing at the wedding in the moment. So keep practicing with film. Practice, 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 practice. Get comfortable with the film stocks. Try all of them. Know which one you like. Know which one you don't like. Know which one, if it's unavailable, you're going to get this one instead, because you know how this one reacts to certain conditions that you're in. Practice the camera. Learn your camera. Learn your gear. Learn your tools. Learn your light. Learn everything. Just keep practicing. Learn whatever your camera capabilities. Some cameras can do some things that other cameras can't. Learn that. Trying out other film stocks. Making mistakes. Learning about the mistakes I made, pushing the limits of the film. That way I know what the film can do in certain conditions that I will be in on the wedding day. Like sometimes ceremony spaces or even reception spaces are dimly lit for the ambiance, right? The ambient light. But if you're shooting mainly and only film and want to show the space on film, you're going to need to know what your film stock can do. Now, that being said, I shoot almost exclusively Portrait 800. Yes, and 35mm, it gets pretty grainy. I use medium format for the main moments, and the in-betweens, I use the 35mm format. Now, I use Portrait 800 because I know how it reacts. I've used it in all kinds of condition. I've used it under fluorescent lighting. I've used it under tungsten lighting. I've used it under candle lighting. I've used it outdoors. I've used it high noon. I've used it sunset. I've used it sunrise. I've used it indoors, outdoors, upside down, underwater, on top of a mountain. I've used it so much. I know what the film looks like. I know how it responds. Film is not hard. It's a little intimidating because you don't know what you're getting. And if you haven't practiced, if you're bringing a new camera for the first time, you don't know what you're getting. But that's why you gotta practice and be confident and trust your gear. Honestly, if this is too much, you don't have to shoot film. You can just use today's sponsor, Dehancer. If you're into the film look but don't really want to shoot film all the time, Dehancer is a tool that helps emulate that aesthetic digitally. It's built around real film characteristics like grain, halation, and color response, so it's not just really throwing a filter on your pictures or videos. Personally, I don't rely on it for everything, especially when I'm actually shooting film, but I do on video because I like the way it looks. But I do think that it's a solid option if you're trying to get closer to that look without the cost and unpredictability that comes with film. Dehancer has a bunch of tools that replicate how film actually works, not just the colors, but like film grain, halation, highlight, roll off, all the little details that make it feel like film without spending the money. At its core, Dehancer is built around film emulation, but it goes way deeper than just slapping a LUT on your footage. They have 60 plus real film stocks like Kodak, Fuji, Agfa. You can adjust exposure like real film with the push and pull slider, and also includes print film emulation like Kodak 2383, which is the most popular and kind of the starting point of your film look. There are color and tone tools, not kind of what shapes your image. There's film compression, film developer, and this is where the pictures and videos actually start to feel less digital. Now here's the real sauce. The film characteristics is my favorite part. These are things most people think of when they say the film look, and it's more like grain, halation, bloom, film damage, overscan. Dehancer works in DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, and Premiere and Lightroom, Photoshop. So Dehancer is not just color. It's not an Instagram filter. It's not a MySpace filter. It's texture and physics of real film. You don't have to use everything. Most people use the grain, halation, and bloom, to be honest. And it makes the pictures look pretty close to film. So if you've been curious about film emulation or just want another tool in your workflow, Dehancer is definitely something worth checking out, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's go over gear that I actually use on wedding days. So I'm going to start with the smallest to largest. We're going to go 35mm, and we're going to go with the point and shoot, and I use this Olympus stylus. Actually, it's the guy from Dale Laboratories down in Dania Beach. I hope you're watching this. You're awesome. You're the greatest. This has been the greatest trade of my entire life. Not my entire life, but of my career. And this has taken me places, and this has seen things that I didn't think I would even see myself. So yes, I use this point and shoot for the quick moments, the almost camera aware moments, because when I pull it out and people kind of pay attention, they turn around like, oh look, is that a film camera? Yes it is, let's take a quick picture. Or sometimes I'll give it to them and then take a quick selfie. I put one roll through it and it kind of documents the whole day candidly. In a way, it's less serious for me, it's less pressure for me, everything's automatic. And on the last frame, I like to have the couple flick me off with their ring finger. It's pretty cheesy, but I like it. Now my second piece of gear is my SLR body, Canon EOS 7, and I've used this on I think 2 weddings now, and it is great. It is great. It has more than 3 autofocus points, which is what the Rebel X had, and it has eye tracking, it has a pop-up flash, it has program mode. It's amazing, it's reliable, it's trusty. So that's what I use for my 35mm, which is the SLR and the point and shoot. Point and shoot in my pocket, SLR on my body on the strap. And on the other side of my hip, is this big boy here, the Pentax 645N. Now I bought this on eBay. I placed a bid and I forgot about placing the bid, and then I won the bid, and then next thing you know, it's at my house. I use the 45 to 85 a lot. That's the lens that I have. And then I sometimes use the 75mm. I don't own it, my mom does, so whenever it's available, I use it. And then when it comes to party time, I drop down to the 45mm manual 2.8. That way I can get a little bit wider of an image, and that way I can use the flash easier, because I do throw on the flash on this camera so I can get more light, because I'm shooting film in the dark. I need light. That's where this comes in. This is the flash that I use. I bought the sync cord so I can never misfire again. That way I know the flash is firing off when I press the shutter button. You know what I mean? Okay, that's the end of this long recording. I've been recording for a long time now. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments, or you can email me, or you can DM me. Check out my Instagram, check out my work. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh, it's so bright. Oh, it's so bright. You want some?
Yeah, I do.